Lesson 6, Offset Functions. Window offset functions include two categories of functions. One category is functions whose offset is relative to the current row. This category includes the lag and lead functions. Another category is functions whose offset is relative to the start or end of the window frame. This category includes the function's first value, last value, and nth value. SQL Server 2012 supports lag, lead, first value, and last value, but not nth value. Part 1, Lag and Lead Functions. The lag and lead functions allow you to return a value expression from a row in the window partition that is in a given offset before, lag, or after, lead, the current row. The default offset if 1 is not specified is 1. The following query returns the current order value for each customer order, as well as the values of the previous and next orders by the same customer. Because explicit offsets weren't indicated here, the query assumes an offset of 1 by default. Because the functions partition the data by custod, the calculations look for relative rows only within the same customer partition. As for the window ordering, what previous and next mean is determined by order date ordering, and by ordered as a tiebreaker. If you want to use an offset other than 1, you need to specify it after the input value. As mentioned, lag and lead return a null by default when there's no row in the specified offset. If you want to return something else instead, you can indicate what you want to return as the third argument to the function. For example, lagval 3 0.00 returns the value 0.00 if the row in offset 3 before the current one doesn't exist. To implement similar calculations with lag and lead prior to SQL Server 2012, you can use the following strategy. Part 2, First Value and Last Value. In the previous section, I discussed the offset functions lag and lead, which allow you to specify the offset relative to the current row. This section focuses on functions that allow you to indicate the offset relative to the beginning or end of the window frame. These functions are first value, last value, and nth value, the last of which wasn't implemented in SQL Server 2012. Recall that lag and lead support window partition and window order clauses but not a window frame clause. This makes sense when the offset is relative to the current row. But with functions that specify the offset with respect to the beginning or end of the window, framing also becomes relevant. The first value and last value functions return the requested value expression from the first and last rows in the frame, respectively. Here's a query demonstrating how to return, along with each customer's order, the current order value as well as the order values from the customer's first and last orders. Recall that if framing is applicable and you don't indicate a window frame clause, the default is range between unbounded preceding and current row. But with last value, you realize that relying on the default framing is pointless because the last row is the current row. Hence, this example uses an explicit frame specification with unbounded following as the upper boundary point in the frame. The following query returns, along with each customer's order, the current order value as well as the difference between the current value and the values of the customer's first and last orders. Suppose you want to create calculations similar to the first value, last value, and nth value prior to SQL Server 2012. You can achieve this by using constructs such as CTEs, the row number function, a case expression, grouping, and joining. Do you want to learn new skills in the fastest and most effective way? Visit learnwithvideotutorials.com.